What up, motherfuckers? I was planning on releasing my Mario Kart 64 PSC port this past week, but I ran into a bit of a problem. Full disclosure, most of the test footage you see me running it on, I'm using an upgraded Weston 6 Compositor. To make a long story short, Spaghettikart requires something called XDG shell, and the Weston build that Sony bundled uses an older Weston 1.11, which uses WL shell instead, which has long been depreciated. I figure I'll just try to get everything up and running first, and then later I can worry about downgrading and backporting code to make it compatible with the stock PSCs. The idea worked at first, and I even recorded the final test play footage. But upon closer inspection, I noticed there's some jitteriness during gameplay, which doesn't appear on the upgraded Weston 6 Compositor. I can't say the word Weston. Alright, now this is my modified PlayStation Classic with upgraded Weston 6. As some of y'all can see, it looks slightly different. It has this little title bar up here. Version 6.0.0. So it should be working correctly here. Yeah. So I'll just demonstrate the smoothness of the frame rate. As you can see, it looks pretty smooth. So no problems on the updated compositor. I'll just play through the track. I know it has something to do with the refresh rates. Some TVs may display it properly, but it's hard to tell by captured footage, but from your eyes looking at the TV screen, you will notice. So let me just finish this real quick. So some of my test footage, you may have seen me just hopping around. I'm not doing that to be a dick. I'm checking for screen tearing. It looked fine here. I thought everything was alright until the very last minute. So on the other stock compositor, you will notice jitter. So some TV refresh rates, they may display a different like frame rate or hertz, like 60 hertz or 59.94. Alright. So most of my test footage I was testing on this updated Weston. So now let's switch to the stock PSC. So here it is, the stock PSC, the one that everybody will be playing. Now, upon first glance, it looks okay, but once a lot of commotion starts occurring on screen, you may notice jitteriness, and I assume it's it goes out of sync with the refresh rates. And on the stock PSC, it may take a minute to recalibrate or resync. So right now it's playing fine. It may depend on like overheating as well. Like, I guess if too much CPU is going on. Right now I just did a cold boot, so it's probably okay, I guess. I mean, it was crapping out earlier all day, and now when I want to show it, it's not demonstrating. Alright, hold on. Maybe in the next stage it'll start, jittering. Alright, next track it'll start jittering, I am certain. I'm sure it has something to do with the frame pacing. Like something in the way TVs render the frames might be alright, see a little bit of jitter there. I noticed when they're slowed down, especially towards the end of the track, during this result screen, there may be like a slowdown, then it starts jittering, and I guess it takes a minute to recalibrate. But in the upgraded compositor, it just resyncs instantly. So you can see it jittering now. And it should go back to normal maybe in a minute, or even in the next track maybe. But yeah, so that's what I was struggling on this whole week. I was trying to find a solution, because most of y'all won't have the upgraded Weston unless I release it, which I plan on doing. Here we go. As you can tell, it's starting to break up. One option I did was I I reworked this thing called VSync, and if you enable it, it should make it a little better, but at the cost of CPU. So yeah, I just made it resync faster, but it may still jitter, but you may drop a frame or two more than usual. But yeah, so that's one of the options I will do. And I suppose the other solution will be to release my upgraded Weston. The thing is, I don't know how to I mean, I've only got it to work by installing it internally, so I don't know if there's a way to launch it like from the USB or the RAM. So I'm gonna have to research that, but I'll put it out so it can coincide with this Mario Kart thing. But yeah, if you enable VSync during the race, it's pretty normal. But towards this part, it may drop more frames than usual. But I'll provide a permanent solution for anybody who wants to update Weston as well, you know. And some stages are more graphically intensive, I guess. And some, especially the Mushroom Cup, I don't know why. Most of these tracks, they experience heavy frame drops at the end. But the other cups is pretty much smooth sailing. So yeah, VSync is enabled, it should be smooth. So on the upgraded Weston Compositor, you can disable VSync and it's fine. So here, if I disable VSync, it's gonna start jittering eventually, especially during slowdown. So yeah, I guess the one that Sony provided is a version that came out in 2016, version 1.0, no 1.11.0, and the one I compiled recently is Weston 6.0. Yeah, and the main reason I wanted to compile it was to enable something called XDG shell. Because most modern apps now, such as RetroArch, and they use that instead of whatever Sony included. So that was the main reason. I didn't think it would actually improve like playback, but just looking at this, I can tell it did. Okay, it's playing smooth, but once the jitter happens, it starts crapping out. So yeah. There it is, 1.11. So there's a few options I can think of. I can release this build with a jitter problem, and y'all can play it as is. And the second option is to release it alongside my Weston 6.0 compositor. I'm not sure if it's possible to launch it without installing it internally, but I'll try to find a way to simply enable it from the USB. And for those who want a permanent solution, I'll provide that too. Sorry for the delay, this wasn't expected. I'll try to get this out soon, hopefully this week. I am completely burnt from this project, and I want to get this done with so I can hop onto Star Fox 64. Well, until next time, peace.